appreciate you. We really appreciate you for taking up your time out of your busy schedule to connect with us today. And I will hand over to Blessing to officially start our call for this evening. Over to you, Blessing.
Awesome, Neil. I am super excited as always when we get on this call on Thursday. This calls to us in our market has been life transforming, and this transformation we have seen in our businesses, in our conversation, and we're always excited to get on these calls with you. Keep the feedback coming. We want to continue to hear from you to see how this calls is helping your business and most importantly, your life. Remember that we're in the business of transforming life, health-wise, financial, and also, of course, lifestyle. All right. And so just let us know in the comment section. On this special call tonight, remember the month of June we mentioned, it's about men. And we're so excited to celebrate the men in our business community as well as the men in our life. And so to that, we've had men, all of our leaders, the men come up on this course for this month to share with us their amazing journey and how their experiences have helped to transform their lives and to share this strategy with us. And so to continue on that tradition for the month of June, we have on the call with us Dr. Charles Eromosele. And I'm so excited when I saw the post went out. I saw that marketing said our very own. Yes, this is our very own Dr. Charles Eromosele. Just like we have amazing leaders in our partner council members in South Africa and in Nigeria, this is one of our partner council members that we hold all of them in our esteem, and we're excited to have him on the call. My name once again is Blessing Edetuba Anowu, for Head of Business Development for Africa. And you have just heard from my colleague Neil Tinyai, who is Business Development right there in South Africa with you, our brand partners in South Africa. And so I'll hand over the rest of the time to Dr. Charles Eromosele. He is a member of our Partner Council members. He is a global builder. Yes, it's not just those in US that are global builders. We also have our very own who are also global builders. Yes, I remember that Tim Phil said, why not? You too can sponsor someone in US, in Canada, in France. You can sponsor someone everywhere around the world. You too can be a global builder. Dr. Charles Eromosele, if you're on the call, I'd like to hand over the rest of the time to you.
All right, thank you. Just want to be sure I'm audible. Hope I'm okay.
Perfectly so, sir.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm truly so excited. This is an opportunity that I don't take for granted. I just want to appreciate Blessing and the team that have been able to put this together. And truly, it's an exciting period for everyone around the world, for great leaders, and also for every single person within this particular organization. And we don't take that for granted. So just to quickly start, I'm really so excited. Blessing called me last week and did tell me about this wonderful opportunity. And I told her I gave her a couple of topics, and I said, one of the things I'm really going to focus on would be building against all odds. One of the things that we need to understand as leaders is that it takes quite a whole lot of mixture of a whole lot of things. A lot of times it's not just about what we read in leadership books. It's not just about what we already know from existing business or existing experiences. But one of the most important things that we must understand is that we are in a season right now where people are in need of examples. And in other words, people are in need of leadership. Who is a leader? A leader is somebody that, concentrates on a vision. So by way of starting, my name is Dr. Charles, and basically what I want to really help us establish today is to help you understand that leadership goes beyond just the next best rank. Leadership goes beyond just, having a couple of people that are partners with you. Leadership actually begins with yourself, how well you lead yourself in every single season. I would like to be very realistic with what we're facing today and why we want to actually be very, very careful and be able to understand the need for building certain values as individuals, especially where your business is concerned. Every failed business was first as a result of a failed leader. Every failed leader was first an example of a failed vision. What vision are you holding on to? You see, this is actually what I'm very passionate about. If you have been in this business for maybe the last 1 year, you've been in this business for the last 5 years or 10 years, and then you have not been able to craft a vision of why you're here, you're already on sinking sand. That's just the truth. Now, the truth of the matter, there's a whole lot of expectation as leaders. Your team is depending on you. The people you're trying to reach out to in the marketplace, they're depending on you. But there has to be something that motivates you every morning when you think about your business. There has to be something that motivates you when you think about yourself. You must look for that thing. And as ladies listen to me this very beautiful day, I want to ask you, what is that key vision? What defines you? If you call your son now, what defines you as a leader? In the business, yes, right now, okay, you've ranked the next round, so what? After the next round, what? After you've had all the distributors, so what? After you've even been able to get to that stage, maybe you are in halfway to a place where you can now be called, or you can now be said to, what's this word that we use, financial freedom. What next? What is the money for? What's the freedom for? It's actually to fulfill a particular purpose. So in other words, the first thing you need to understand as a leader that will be able to build against all odds is that you must think differently from everyone. You see, one thing I don't do as a leader is I don't give time to all the news. The news is so negative this day that at the end of the day, if you're not careful, you're going to notice that you have now started living on survival mode. And that is not good for business, because this is what you need to understand. Whatever as a leader you cannot capture in your mind, you cannot hold with your hands. So sometimes the reasons why you're saying my business is not moving, people are not listening to me, it is not necessarily because things are not moving. In the same place right now, let's take, for example, case study in Nigeria or Africa, that things are, the economy is not really very strong. Guess what? There's still people buying brand new cars. There are still people building big houses, mansions. There are still people traveling around the world. So don't put yourself in that box where at the end of the day, you are so problematic in your thinking, because you know what? There's something called, a man is actually a spirit having a soul and living in the body. I'll try and break that down so you understand. Everything about you is about how you think. As a man thinks, so he is. So what am I trying to say? If everything in your mind only sees the negative, I can bet you are going to transmit a negative energy to your team. You are going to transmit a negative energy to every other person you are living out there, because you're not saying anything. And guess what? That's actually what happens. Whenever the leader is less motivated, you are going to see that it affects the team. So as a leader, you're carrying so much. So the first thing is that you must ensure that I talked about vision as the first one. You need to have a vision for your business. You need to have a vision for what you're doing. It's very important. I have gone beyond the level right now where I want to concentrate on the problems. That's not my, I want to get, how do I say this? Every person has a past. We have a present where we are right now, and we have a future we are going into. Your future has no respect for whatever you've been through in the past. Your future only has a respect for what you've been able to build as a leader. So one of the first things you need to understand is vision. The next most important thing is that you need to build a fence around you that keeps you protected from every form of negativity, negative energy, negative people. You're going to have several people in your team. You're going to have people in your team, just permit me a bit. You're going to have people in your team, they just took my light up. You're going to have people in your team that, that feel like, how do I say this now? Every team has 3 categories of people. You're going to have a category of people that are energy drainers. So they are always seeing all the problems, that happen in the organization. They never say anything right. Every single time you get a call from them, your heart is beating. Why? Because always one form of negativity to the other. Now, there's also a category of people that at the end of the day, they are drawing strength from you. While you speak, they are reading behind the lines. They are finding that line of motivation. You've not been doing well in your business. So when they call you, they're also trying to find the next energy to lead, to do something new. Then when they speak to you, everything that may likely be coming out of you is negative. So at the end of the day, they cannot build, because the first way you build your business is not with your hands, it's with your mind. It's with your mind. The greatest leaders in the world, that's actually how they build. You first of all picturize it in your mind. This meeting started right now. I already had a thought in my mind. I knew exactly what I would need to be saying, how I would need to be saying, and I never want to leave anywhere without pouring out positive energy. So you must understand that everything rises and falls on leadership. Now, let me give you a history of what has been happening within Africa so you understand. Every business that I'll repeat what I said earlier. Every business that I tried, go and check very well. It was actually rooted in a leadership problem. And guess what? When the leaders now begin to see much problem, before you know it, the organization itself dies. So let me say it this way. This organization right now is dependent on what me and you in the field, what we're doing. Will there be problems? Yes, there will be problems. Are there challenges right now? Yes, there's challenges. It's just a one-year-old business. When did we launch in Nigeria? When did we launch in South Africa? So it's still a toddler, for God's sake. And if you are a mother and you have a toddler, what are the most important things you do? You are there. It's not going to be convenient for you. Because a toddler doesn't have they don't have their own regulation of time, they don't have their own regulation of sleep, they don't have their own regulation of feeding. So it's going to take a lot from you. But guess what? Because you know that there is a future, you are willing to give everything it takes to show the best love to that toddler, irrespective of the challenges, irrespective of the fact that your dreams don't matter at that period, that the growth of that toddler is very important. Why am I saying this as leaders? It's very important that you get back to your team and find how to pour out positive energy. Everything right now that I'm enjoying in terms of success within my own team right now, and with the people that are actually listening to me, everything that I enjoy has actually been as a product of being very selective of the kind of leaders I have around me. It's going to a point right now, I don't try to give anybody the vibe. That's another thing we do a lot of times. A lot of times, if you try to market your business based on the atmosphere of the country you are in, the atmosphere of the economy, I can bet you one of the worst things that you're going to experience a downward, growth in your business. You're definitely going to, because remember, the people you're marketing to, and let me tell you why this is very important. You may just think, oh, you're just telling somebody about it, say they don't care. They do care. They do care because businesses are closing down. Different things are happening right now. Just a few days ago, a major organization that has over, I think, about 180 staffs just closed. And guess what that means? That 180 people are going back into the labor market for those that can go. And the sad news, I need to be very frank with you because I'm also within the medical sector, a large percentage of that crowd are going to land in the hospital. Some of them may likely lose their life. Mortality rate is going to go high. So what am I trying to say? You may just assume, oh, no, nobody is buying from me. Nobody wants to listen to me. No. If the best time for you to be your best in terms of your business, in terms of marketing your business, in terms of marketing whatever you do, is in a time like this. People are looking for the next best option. And if you can show them that you are within a business that has a solid foundation, you are within a business that has solid management, you are within a business that the product, the services are fantastic, I can bet you they are going to give you, there's always this front, let me just say, this marks a lot of people put on when you're trying to market things to them, and they make it look like, no, we've had all this thing before. It's not true. They're going to go back and think. Then guess what? The intensity of the thought that they give to what you say is dependent on three very important things. What you say, how you say it, and what you say, how you say it, and how convincing, how clear, precise, and convincing your word is. Now let me talk about clear and precise communication. Never market any business as if you are begging people to come in. I used to say it like this. When people listen to you, people are not listening to your words. They are listening to your testimony. If you are not a replica of what you are saying, nobody's going to listen to you. In animals, we call it pheromones. There's this attractive factor when another animal comes, maybe a female species of that same animal. So there's something called pheromone. It's an attractive factor. So the universe is wired in such a way by what I refer to as maybe the law of attraction, or the way I believe that God created us, that when you speak, there's a certain energy. That's something. Sometimes not everything you say. It may just be a particular word that somebody hears, and automatically you give them a sleepless night. They want to go back and think about it. So it's very important for you to be clear. What am I talking about? Brevity. You see, when you also start talking about the business and you're bringing a lot of complexity into it, people don't have that time. They don't have that patience. It has been said by the law of communication, whatever you cannot say clearly and comprehensively in 1 minute, no matter whether you spend 1 hour, they are never going to understand because you are being ambiguous. You're being ambiguous. So what are very tricky things that you must let them know? First of all, you want to stay around the track record that the organization has built. You want to stay around the track record of the product. This is a product that has actually been in the country for over almost getting to 3 decades now, doing different things. There has not been anything on the tabloid so far, or the news so far, that actually points to the fact that this is disruptive or it's not working. It's there. That is good news people need to hear. So you want to be as brief as possible. You want to talk about the strength of the organization. You want to talk about the fact that there are more than 70 countries in the world. So you want to talk about positive things. You want to come to Nigeria. You want to brag about things that are happening in Nigeria. You want to brag about one. If you have testimony, share it. Share it. So it's very important for you to understand that if you are going to be that leader that builds against all odds, vision must be very important, and how well you self-lead yourself is very critical. What are the books? What books are you reading? I just bought a book last week, and I'm almost finished with it right now. Why? So that I can, when I speak, when I communicate, there can be a certain energy, not just energy, there can be a certain level of intelligence in your speech that when you speak, nobody can say no to you. I think that there's a motivational square that says the worst thing you can ever do is not to let me come into the door. But the moment you let me through into that door, you can't turn me back. And that's actually one thing I have learned to imbibe as a person. So you want to be able to communicate intelligently. Remember, brevity is very important. Keep it simple. It's not about all the ambiguous things. Sometimes, and let me tell you some of the mistakes I've actually noticed, especially as a consultant, as a leader, listening to some of people talk. You get to somebody right now, the person is in need of finances. They are in need of economic empowerment. They don't know what a comp plan is. They don't know what a compensation plan is. So don't go to strangers or people that are looking for financial empowerment. Don't go and talk to them about a compensation plan. What you want to speak to them about is about the industry. Okay, this is a direct selling industry. This is what is happening. This is what it is worth. This is what people are doing. This is how people are making money. I make money on a weekly basis. Remove any form of complexity. When you come to the medical part, you don't want to go flog all the medical jargons per se. You're not a medical doctor. You're not a nurse. You're not a medical personnel. So I keep it simple. Tell them the few things that you've been able to learn. That's the key thing. Those are the key things that you need to understand as a leader. Keep it simple. Another thing you need to also understand also is that you need to have a very strong staying power. If you're going to be that leader that builds against all odds, your staying power must be very strong. Listen, as leaders, these are things that happen really. You're going to call for a Zoom and get to a Zoom. And notice that the Zoom, after talking so close to about 100 people or 20 people, you're going to discover that at the end of the day, you have 2 people in that Zoom. What shows if you are a leader is, would you be discouraged at that point or keep on doing it? Consistency. Consistency pays. Consistency pays. The first time you're going to tell people about a bid for opportunity like this, they're not going to take it seriously. They're going to think it's one of those opportunities and stuff like that. That's actually why you need to build that. I wanted to finish with my point, but I'm just coming to the next point. And the next point means at the end of the day, you need to build a lifestyle around your business. Somebody said, if you are dashing somebody a shoe, they want to first of all see the one you are wearing. It's very critical. Very important. Know your audience and master how to align with the culture within the audience you're reaching out to. If I'm getting to a place right now where I'm actually going to have to like talk to market women, I'm not going to speak in Queen's English. I'm going to go colloquial. I'm going to speak pidgin English. I'm going to get to their level. I'm going to dress in the level that fits that environment. I'm a consultant. I'm within the corporate environment a lot of times, you know. So when I'm there, I want to be able to exude the energy, exude the persona, you know, that fits that particular place. So understand culture. When I say understand culture, you have to build a lifestyle around your business. Who do you reach out to the most? Understand your communication language. Some of you right now, your communication language is more aligned with people in trade and commerce. So if that's where you don't go and start finding people in SMEs, don't go and start finding people in corporate organizations. You know, that's the problem we have. So, and that's actually, and that leads me to another thing. You must deal with inferiority complex. Now, what is some of the problem we have? Do you know that some of the biggest networkers in Nigeria that I know, most of them don't have a degree, university degree. Most of them never finished, they never went through the 4 walls of a university successfully. But you know what? They know how to communicate business language in a way that the people within what I refer to as a social capital understands. You know, some of them even have to speak their language. And because one of the things you need to understand, in a world that, you know, there's quite a whole lot of inferiority complex, you're speaking to somebody right now in big terms per se, and the person is nodding their head. They don't want to tell you that they are non-literate, but they're going to nod their head as if they understand. But guess what? The goal for you reaching out to them was not just to communicate to them. The goal of you reaching out to them was to ensure that you are able to win a person over to your business. So the most important thing should not be what you say. The most important thing should be how well you understand that person and how well you communicate in their language. Very critical, very important. Very important. And so, these are just some of the few. There are quite so many. I'll just think about maybe 3 more, and because I hope I still. This is another blessing. Let me just set a chart so I know how many minutes I have left, so I don't just shoot. So these are very critical things that you must understand as a leader that must build against all odds. One of the biggest discouragement that you're going to ever get as a leader is not the discouragement from people. It is going to be the discouragement you have inside of you. This is where you are right now in your business. It's not where you want to be. Where you are right now in your business, if I was to actually about 5, 10 years ago, 1 year ago, I can promise you by now you thought you were going to become a multi-millionaire. I thought you were going to become a multi-billionaire. And then what now happens at the end of the day? You start a team and then you're talking, you're giving all your energy, and all of a sudden it looks like you're not getting the result and they're not showing the love back to you. That's actually why, as a leader, you must develop staying power. You must understand that your sowing season, the season in which you sow a seed, is not the same season you're going to reap a harvest. Between seed time and the harvest period, there is going to be a period of germination. There's going to be a period that's going to require watering. It's going to require consistency of you developing yourself. It's going to require you aligning your strategies to fit what fits that particular environment. Between seed time and harvest is where the real work lies. So you cannot give up. Some of you right now, you stay in this business, but if I was to have a one-on-one conversation with you, everything that I research or from you actually shows that you are just in the business, but you have left rugged. So you must develop staying power. Right now, I don't brag about anything. We've not even started as far as Nigeria is concerned, as far as Africa is concerned. The business we're trying to work with, Anthony Molan and everyone that's actually on this call, they've been in this business for quite a number of years. You know, the US market has actually been developed. But you know what? If you ask me now, do you know what I know? The time is going to come where at the end of the day, the US will have to compete with the Nigerian market. We have to compete with the African market. It's as simple as that. It's a clear vision. I'm not trying to give you. I'm not trying to motivate you. With the way things are going, do you know? In case you don't know, let me just say I don't know the statistics of how many countries we have in Africa. We're just in 2 countries, just in Nigeria, just in South Africa. Now let's just imagine we have about 30 countries in Africa. Do you know Do you have any idea at all that when other countries open up, they're going to be opening up under you? In case you've not had that clearly, you need to know now. Let's say, for example, Blessing announces right now that the country of Ghana is open. What are leaders like me and everybody going to do? We're going to start looking for leaders there. Now, when you need to go get those leaders, where will you put them? You're going to put them in the same generational tree that you are in right now. And if that country blows up, wow, what happens? At the end of the day, that's massive success. So what I'm trying to say, your mind was not trained to understand the information that is negative. If you have a problematic mind, I can bet you it's going to disrupt your vision. And the worst thing, you don't want, just imagine you're closing your eye and you're trying to walk on the street. You're going to have an accident. So one of the ways you can actually keep your vision clear is that vision must be clear to you where you're going to. You must be stubbornly aligned with a particular vision for your own growth and for the growth of your team. And when a business that's so beautiful in the same way that while you're growing, everybody around you is growing as well. Then another very important thing I want to also talk about also is that you must also be flexible as a leader. One of the ways you're able to build strength against all odds is that flexibility is very important. Things may not be the way you used to know it, and may not be the way. For example, I'm coming from a very strict corporate background. So when I come and I see certain things, there's a tendency to get angry and try to compare what I'm seeing today with what I'm seeing tomorrow. And the truth of the matter is that you have to now be able to, like, if the people you are leading, they are not at this height where you are in, they are this height, what you want to do is to come down to that level and pick them up to where you are. That's where leadership begins. Be flexible. Who are the best leaders around you? I'm not beginning to give way. Like for my team right now, there's a lot of things that before I would just be the only one doing. But I just made up my mind very recently that I'm going to cut down on the number of appearance. I'm going to be on calls. I'm going to be in meetings. But I'm going to step aside so that I can get other people that can become an example to those people. So what does that do? It keeps you happy. That you have leaders around you, that can hold your hands, leaders around you that can be pillars of strength. And then most importantly, you also must submit to a leader. One of the worst things you can do as a leader that's interested in massive success is not to have a coach around you. Right now, I'm standing on the shoulders of several people that I count as coach. If I have a particular discouragement, I want to run to them and say, I'm not getting it right. This is what should I do? There should be people around you that when you converse with them, you draw strength. Don't be that leader that just bring people into your business and just leave them hanging. No. So you must also be connected to a leader, and they are also connected to you. So this is actually what happens when a team when there's a dissonance within a team. When your eyes no longer on the vision, there's nothing you're running to chase to bring down. And guess what? The people following you, sometimes they are not necessarily following the vision. They are following you. You are like a palm tree. A lot of people are under your tree. They are taking shades right now. They are learning. It's time to give them the baton. But what baton are you going to do if you have lost the vision? So I want you to get back. If there are very key things that I want you to take home from this meeting today, is that you want to have a diary. What is your vision? If I ask you to define who you are, what vision are you running with? What vision? The vision is not about selling products. The vision is not about making money. When you make money, what is money used for? There's a syndrome right now I find with a whole lot of networkers and networking professionals, is that you will see a lot of them that have made money in the past. Because they learned how to make money, they can move to the next level, which is management. And so they made money, they couldn't manage, and because they couldn't manage, they couldn't multiply. So they're always finding the next big things. I don't want to live that life. I don't want you to live that kind of life. So the only way you can manage, and multiply money is that you must have a vision for what you're making. If not, guess what will happen? You've been paid money today, right now. Today is Thursday, and a lot of us in Africa, we get our bonus payments, or for the US, I think it's on Friday or something like that. Guess what? Every time the money comes, it is going to become a liability because it doesn't have a vision. I'm going to a point right now where I keep a certain percentage of my earnings somewhere. As I speak to you right now, I'm going to be sending, and this is a secret. I don't share this with most people. I think only few people know about this. I don't sell. Every product I bought, if I sell, maybe since I started this business out, maybe I've just sold a carton. Every product, I just ordered for a product yesterday, just go to me right now. I am sending that product to somebody that's somebody that I don't need it critically. And then what now happens with those kind of, somebody say lottery winners, that's what happens. So any money that doesn't have a vision, it's going to find a way to leave you. It's going to find a way to leave you. So what you need to start doing right now, some of you need to go back and calculate what have you, I know what I've gained in the whole of my stay in Partner Co right now. And so that helps me to now be able to gauge what I think I should be gaining in the next 6 weeks, what I should be gaining in the next 6 months. So that's actually how to develop right now. Why is that very important? There is something called lifestyle. These are ancient, thing that majority of network marketers, especially if you've been in network marketer for more than a decade or for more than 2 decades, you will understand that lifestyle is the most important thing. Every business that from the GNLD to every other company that we've known in years past, they came with lifestyle. Okay, so the reason why you want to become somebody that understands how to make money, how to manage money, and how to multiply money in terms of build financial intelligence is that you want to be able to show people examples. Sometimes I don't speak too much. Somebody tells me, but I just brag about them. How much how much you get paid? And so I earn my monthly salary. I said, do you know that I earn weekly? Yes, I earn weekly. Sometimes it's so good that I actually want to show that this is actually what I gain. Simple. So the lifestyle is actually very, very important. So so basically, leaders, one of the things I think I want you to begin to learn, and one of the things I want you to begin to imbibe as a leader is, please, you must have at least 5 people that you are drawing strength from. Inside those 5 people, there's a mentor, there's a coach, there's a close companion, and there are people you're also drawing up to where you are. It's very critical, very important. Don't be a leader that is not holding up to strength from somewhere, and then don't also become that follower also that is heavily dependent on their leader. You will never go that way. You will never grow. You've been in this business right now, and in the past 3 months, you've not even opened your back office. Now, what am I saying is, I'm talking to adults. We're not kids here. Always remember, we always say this word, know your why. Why did you come to the business? So don't become that leader that is heavily dependent on your upline. Don't become that leader. Your upline is actually pursuing their own vision as well. It's good to draw strength from them, but decide that you want to take your own race, you want to draw up your own vision and run. Where there needs to be collaboration, collaborate. Where you need to run on your own energy, run. It should, like for us now, we have one Zoom every week. You shouldn't have one Zoom every week if you are within my team right now. You want to have regular Zooms. You want to have meetings. You want to be fine. You find someone like me, you find me in hotels, you find me in pubs, you find me in areas where at the end of the day, I'm either talking to somebody or at the end of the day, I am doing something that actually returns back to me as a return on investment. Okay? So don't be a follower all your life. Learn to lead. And when I say learn to lead, what am I trying to say? I'm going to give you 3 examples. When last did you call anybody within your team to just encourage them? When last did you do that? When last did you check on, when last did you, every day I wake up right now, I go to my back office, I want to check on, okay, who needs to do maybe a reorder, or who's not doing well. Sometimes you may not even know, somebody may have been doing well last month, and all of a sudden there's a financial issue, they're not doing well right now. But when you call, that's called empathy. There's this feeling, oh, my leader cares. And at the end of the day, they are able to align with you. So you must be able to show your people that you are truly here for leadership. It's not about referableness. How much is referableness? Never get to a point where the people under you feel that you only brought them into the business because you needed to make your money. That is bad leadership. That is bad leadership. You want to give them that impression that you care for them. Empathy is very important. Call once in a while, get to know what they are doing. Very important. So if you want to build against all odds, listen, you can't be everybody. I can tell you right now that the whole situation, the economic situation, even if at the end of the day, our president comes today and shares $1 million for everybody, or the United States, your president comes and shares $100,000 to everybody, I can bet you the situation will still remain what they are. because that's the way the world is wired. Things are always going to be tough. But you know what? Only tough people at the end of the day make it through life. In short, this is my definition. The world was designed for tough people. So don't chicken out because things are not working. Don't chicken out because somebody told you about that business that's booming. Have you got to check the foundation? You're starting on a business that has a very strong foundation, from the management to the track record to the products to everything. Superb. Not just run into anything because it looks profitable. Everybody that ran into so many things that sounded profitable, a lot of them that were rich 5 years back, 3 years back, they are now poor. Why? Because at the end of the day, they did not do their own due diligence to find what business am I. You will never find me. And I brag about this. The reason why a lot of leaders actually hold on to me when I speak is because I tell them, you can never find me in anything that doesn't work. Never. Never. I do my due diligence. I do track recording. I check everything about the business. And so that when I get out there, I can speak with confidence. So please, it's very important that you understand that this is actually key things that you must be able to build around your leader. And then the last thing before I just stop, the last thing I'll just say that's actually very, very critical is that you must learn how to localize your business. Complexity in business is about people trying to copy what every other person is doing. I cannot do what Anthony Muller is doing right now. I can't do what my upline, Mr. Aaron Decker and Gita Decker, I can't do what they're doing. Then maybe I can do the best in my own way in the locality I find myself. And then that's what works. So what am I trying to say? Be an original. Don't be a photocopy. Because the leaders, the funny thing about trying to listen to everybody, this person say today, you have to put A on top B, and you try to follow that tomorrow. You leave this person, you listen to that person that says C has to be on that B, So we are so full of several quotable quotes, steps to success, that at the end of the day, we now don't look within ourselves to say, what do I have that people like the most? There are 3 things you must consider. What is that thing about you that is an attractive factor? Do you know, if you're home and listening to me right now, do you know that I learned this from The Apprentice by Donald Trump. I followed the whole series, and there's something that actually stood out very strongly there, that women have the best power when it comes to marketing. There's an aura about a lady, there's an aura about a woman that when you step into a place with confidence, people listen. People listen. Well, I can't vlog, I'll just leave it there. The same thing with guys as well. You want to start before anybody and everybody. You will notice something that may be wrong right now. There's something called a law of attraction. I will explain to you right now in a way I think you can understand. You will notice that the level of people you've been able to reach out to in the last 3 months, you are only able to reach out to those kind of people because you are in your comfort zone. They are the people you are comfortable to reach out to. But if you are personally developing yourself, for example, I say like this, if you bring me before any governor, before any president, I'm still going to get to Charles. I'm not going to feel less of anybody. I'm not going to go before anybody with a different skin color and feel less. No. So it's very important you understand your own originality, find what works for you and stay there. Don't try to copy. Don't try to copy. Be your own self. What works for you? There's something you say in the way you say it, and that's how people listen to you. There's an aura you bring into what you say. Don't copy. Don't copy. Permit me, I'm just getting this vibe in my mind of, the David and Goliath, which I think is a common story from the good book, If David had gone there and was actually comparing the size and everything, he would have been able to bring Goliath down. In other words, there are mountains you can bring down. But first of all, you need to see the giant in yourself. The giant is in you. So what am I trying to say? When you get out there, one of the things that fail a lot of us is the confidence to be able to communicate with authority and strength. So you must be able to communicate your business with authority. It's very important. Do you know who you are? You are not what they call it. You're not just a marketer. Do you know who you are? You are a partner with a US firm. You are a partner with a multinational firm. That's a big deal. You are a partner. You are within the circle of a business that is in over 70%. So I don't see myself as just a Nigerian business person. I see myself as a brand partner with Anthony Holland. I see myself as a brand partner with the Deckers. I see myself as a brand partner with Cameron. You see, so I see myself in that light. I'm not speaking the way I'm speaking because I'm a partner council member. No, that is me. That's my person. You cannot meet with me physically now and then you will spend 5 minutes together and you are not going to draw strength. That's what we call momentum. It's contagious. It must get to you. So change how you see yourself. Stand before a mirror and stop seeing yourself, as somebody that is beaten down by the economy. Yes, business has not been moving. You've not made the bonus that you need to make. But I bet you right now, if you begin to go and realign your vision, tell yourself, what is a simple vision? I don't want to be poverty. I don't want to ever be poor. I have children to raise. I have a wife. I have a family to take care of. So let me say it like this. How far you run in life is determined by what is pushing you. I'll say it one more time. How far and how well you run in life is determined by what is pushing you. It was Eric Thomas that said it this way. Somebody wanted to get rich at all costs, become successful, and he said the person should come to the river, and he pressed him into the river. The person could not understand. The summary of that story is that he told the person, he said, until you want success as much as you breathe, you're not going to be successful. So actually become that stubborn brand partner. Get out there. Get on Facebook. Send message to everybody possible. You have 4,000 people on your friend list. How many of them have you sent a direct message to tell them? Now, it doesn't matter whether they say yes or no. Some of you have phones now. Your phones have over 5,000 contacts. But I can bet you maybe only 3 people know about your business. Send messages out there. Let them say you're disturbing. But at least you will now know why they are on your phones. Either they are there to just occupy space or they are there to become part. Listen, is it when you die tomorrow that the people that you have around you are going to become part of whatever you're doing? No. So I do that every now and then. I mean, if I go, somebody invited me somewhere, and I went to a meeting yesterday. Somebody invited me for a meeting, and they were speaking, and then somebody just mentioned my name, and they talked about the business, and immediately that started a conversation. As I speak to you right now, that guy is going to get into the business. As simple as it sounds. As simple as it sounds. So please live the life that helps people to get attracted to you. Jesus said it like this: success is not what you pursue. Success is what you attract by the person you are becoming. So the biggest work that's going to make you a massive success is not going to start with blessing. It's not going to start with Cameroon. It's not even going to start with Partnership. It's not going to start with your upline. It's going to start with you making up your mind that at this age I'm in right now, in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, I can't make the mistake of the past. How did the mistake of the past happen? You just aligned to whatever was happening, and then there was no vision for anything to accomplish it. But right now, you're going to a future. You've told yourself that this year I want to become a millionaire. So the last thing I'm going to say is that your confessions must be right, your belief must be right. I tell people, you dress 3 ways every single day you wake up. You dress spiritually, you dress mentally, you dress physically. Physically is the last thing. What does it mean dress mentally? What does it mean dress spiritually? You and God, you are tight. You're not going to step there and, an enemy or somebody actually, weighs you down. You are pumped up in your spirit for success for that day. You've issued out some words in the spirit, and then you've told yourself that today I am going to sell a carton. Today I'm going to sell 2 cartons. Today I'm getting more people into my business. And then what's the next thing? You prepare your mind. Everything. That's actually why the first thing you should wake up to in the morning is not the news. It's not the news. It's something that actually motivates you to go the extra mile. You want to wake up every morning, take your phone and say, today I'm calling 30 people. I'm going to tell them about this business and they're going to come in. Yeah, you like me, there's a statement, people just say it casually, but I actually adopt that into my prayer. I said, thank you, God, I'm so happy and grateful today that I am good. I'm making money on a consistent basis in increasing measure from multiple sources. And guess what? Money keeps meeting money in my hands. Now, somebody will say, listen, there's nobody that's successful in this life that doesn't have a spiritual foundation. So please remember, dress 3 ways, dress spiritually, and then dress mentally. If you have to look like the president of the United States, please do, in terms of your personal, your courage. People fall in love with your courage more than they fall in love with your words. If you're not speaking with authority, that's something you want to learn. That's what you want to learn. So please, I bet you, there is nothing wrong with the situation. The situation of the country is going to remain the way it is. As a matter of fact, economists have already said things may likely go worse. So problem, if things are going worse, in other words, if I'm saying there's an improvement on the problem, is there an improvement on you? Because the salary you have right now is not going to be able to contain the problems that are coming. So you need to now start thinking strategically. By the way, you need to understand this by now. You do better when you have less. A lot of times, if you see people that actually squander a lot, or people that are not the best of managers, is because they have plenty. But the moment you begin to, this is not an opportunity where you're going to find three class of people. You may not have had this before. Right now, the economies are tough. People are thinking, what is the next thing that can give me better money? So if you are not aligning with the wavelength or finding a way to pass that communication right now, you are missing out on a major opportunity. What is another thing you need to understand about the time and the season that we are in right now? The time and the season we are in right now is a time and season where at the end of the day, people are looking for people that they can draw energy for. Somebody may get connected to you, not necessarily because you are talking to them about the product, but there's something about you that they want to get drawn to. If I open my inbox now, I'm going to find a lot of people, that are sending messages, oh, I want you to be my mentor and stuff like that. I don't get surprised about those things. I position myself for those things. And then when those people come, you can now tell them, oh, this is what is working for you. I have a passive income. I have all this. I have all that. So please, leaders, there's always never enough time to be able to pour it all out. But please, I beg you, remember who you are. Do whatever you're doing for your last name. Don't let your children ask you tomorrow, in case you married and you have kids now, or definitely you're going to have kids. Don't let your children ask you tomorrow when the 1% of the 1% were hitting the skies, hitting the target, becoming millionaires. Daddy, mommy, where were you? Where were you? Background was where you were born. You become the background for your future. I'll say it like this. Let your ceiling, let your highest accomplishment right now be the floor that your children will start from. So leaders, remember, you are not building because somebody invited you into the business. You're not building because you just want to make money. You are building because you want to become an example to many others. You are the best testimony some people in your family will know. You are the best testimony some people within your neighborhood will know. So don't see this as just a business. See it as a lifestyle. See it as your purpose. What God has given you in this now to be able to do well and to so amazing. So thank you very much. I think I'll just stop here in case there are questions, and then I'm willing to answer.
Thank you so much, Dr. Charles, for sharing all of those golden nuggets, strategies to help us build against all odds as leaders. Thank you so much, from vision to simplicity to ensuring that we are constantly training ourselves, and then you talked about lifestyle and how we can draw people into our business, starting with lifestyle. And you mentioned how a duplicating system, but staying original, stay authentic, be your true self. Oh, I love this last one that you talked about, dressing. Once you wake up in the morning, you want to dress in 3 ways: spiritually, mentally, and of course, you want to dress physically. But those first 2 are so important, and they can be able to take over the physical one. But when you focus on the last one, you'll be missing the point. Thank you so much, Dr. Charles. Thank you for sharing those amazing strategies. Team, I don't know if you have any questions for Dr. Charles. He will take questions for a few minutes if we have any. Awesome. Neil just mentioned, build your lifestyle around your business. So important. People like Dr. Charles, people look at you first. Your personality is what attracts people more than the words that you say, So you want to build it around your business, your lifestyle around your business. You're inviting people to live healthier lives. You're inviting people to come and change their lifestyle. You're even inviting people to a business that helps them experience financial stability. They want to see some of that in your personality when you speak to them. And of course, it comes from a place of confidence. When you know the business you're into, when you know who you are, when you know what you're carrying, like, this is an amazing opportunity. I always like the way that you say it. And I think also, Ajiri always says that You don't beg people to come into this business. It's an amazing opportunity. So we don't beg you to come into this. We're asking you to join us and transform your life. I don't see any question there. Yes, Jiri says, great message in these challenging times. Yes, in Africa, everywhere we're experiencing challenging times, whether it's in government policies, around the economy, we're all experiencing it. But there is an opportunity that can help you upscale. All right. Neil, do you see any question? I don't think I see any.
I don't see any questions, Blessing. I don't see any questions. I guess we all absorbed everything that we received from Dr. Charles.
Dr. Charles, remember you mentioned that you must be clear. In a minute, I think you've been clear enough that there is no question from the team. Thank you so much, team. What an amazing evening we've had. You must keep training yourself. And you mustn't depend totally on your leader, your upline. Yes, they are also your business partner. You can draw strength like Dr. Charles mentioned, but you must not be totally dependent on them. It's a business that you have entered into as a partner. You must also learn, how do I navigate around this business and also create wealth for myself and success? And that's not dependent on your upline. It is now your responsibility to ensure that you experience the kind of success that you want to experience. And of course, your upline is there to provide support and strength when you need it. And we are also here as corporates to also help you with the resources and the tools to help you achieve that. Thank you everyone for getting on this call. We're super excited. We look forward to next week, Monday, when we'll be having our back office training. You need to get all of your team members on that call. We will be having an amazing time from a legend within our corporates who has been with the company for over 2 decades. He will be training us on the back office. You want all your team members to be on that call. And I'll allow Dr. Charles to round up with his final words before we close for the evening.
All right, the final words is just ensure that you're dressed in that leadership, remove every form of mask and just be yourself. You cannot cast a vision, being an impression of something that you are not. The best place to start developing is actually from where you are right now. Small field right now, what is working for you has been what you built in years back. So you want to go back and do sober reflection, look at where you are. I am never the same person I was 1 month ago by virtue of the books I read and the people that I meet. I was a multi-billionaire just about a week ago. And you know, that brought me to, I want to study, I want to check my mannerism and all this. And it just made me realize that there's so much inside of us. Please quit being who you are or who you have always been. It's time to move to where you need to be. And lastly, sorry, there's just 2 people you need to always have. There are 2 of you. There's a person I'm speaking to you right now, and then there is a person that you need to become that we can all be proud about. Please quit being the first person. It's time for us to now begin to work on the person that we need to be. The world is having a vacancy for that person, and you need to fill that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Charles. And those last passing words just reminds me of what one of my mentors used to say, that you're gradually becoming the person that you will always be. Be sure that the person you're becoming is the person you want to be. So check your vision. That person you're becoming, is that the person you want to be? If not, realign and start working towards that person you want to become, not the person you were or you were yesterday. And so on that note, we say goodbye from us in business development. My name once again is Blessing Evetuba, and we've had the amazing Dr. Charles Eromosele here with us, Golden Nuggets and Leadership Strategy. And of course, we had Neil Ntinyai on the call.
Thank you so much, team. Thank you always for being with us and connecting with us. We'll see you next weekend. Have a great evening. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye,
Thank you so much,
team.
Bye.
Dr. Charles.
Have a great evening, team.
Thank you. Thank you.
We appreciate all of you.
Bye, Dr. Charles. Bye, Michelle.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, Dr. Charles. Bye. God bless
Bye,
you.
team.